Hi, Professor Satyanarayana. You worked a lot on C&D waste, and then because of you, we have two recycling plants in Chennai. And then after you, I joined here, and many more faculty members are working on C&D waste. Similar to me, there are many researchers, young researchers, who are working on this area. So, any advice from your side for all of our young faculty members and the researchers in C&D waste?
The C&D waste research comes under various categories. One is the materials characterization, whether they'll perform, and what kind of materials are used. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and that is a kind of work I think a lot of people have been doing. Okay, that's the easier part of the thing, but it has to be done because the big challenge is if you're going to do recycling, especially from an aggregate perspective and so on, is how do you characterize your recycled aggregate, whether it is suitable for being used as a replacement of the native material aggregate. And of course, we got the code changed. We brought in about 20% for structural concrete and 100% non-structural concrete. But so one of the problems with recycling, especially if you're talking about coarse aggregate, is the energy requirements. Right? So there are alternate solutions. People are looking at how to reduce energy and so on. Because when you look at it from a cost point of view and an embodied energy, of course, we can justify. In fact, one of the studies that my student Kishore and Ram have done shown that embodied energy-wise it's better. So those are all the various topics. The second thing is the area that we've been working on is to how do you create an institutional framework, policy, so that people start using it, right? So there is a need for those also studies, and there is a lot of requirement for sensitizing people, making them aware that this is a sustainable way of doing things, right? And also, a big eye-opener from our study was that almost more than 30% of the municipal solid waste was C&D waste, right? So there's a lot of C&D waste being generated. So one thing is how do I recycle it? But then there are also a number of issues contractually. How do I mandate that? Because one of the biggest problem is we have a very good informal sector to take care of a lot of the materials like steel. Every kg of steel is collected and goes through a process. Every door frame and window frame is neatly removed, and there's a market for it. An informal market that is working very efficiently, which in my opinion should not be touched on. The big problem is in the concrete and the masonry debris that is left. That's where the big problem is, and I think that's the area where most of the people are using. And the various kinds of applications that we could be using. So a lot of opportunities from a materials study point of view, from technology perspective on how do you use demolition techniques. How do you use demolition techniques such a way that you can, use it as a recycled material. Then also from a design perspective, now a lot of thinking is how do I design my structure so that you can deconstruct and then reuse. So that is another area of research that you could look at. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Satyanarayana.